What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. And tonight we are going behind enemy lines. So I thank you for taking the time. If you guys have any questions, any comments you want to throw my way tonight, you know they are always welcome. Thank you for hitting that like button, subscribing to the YouTube channel. But let's get this bad boy started. Of course, we're going to talk about all of the Eagles news first, everything that happened today, and I'll keep you up to date with what is going on there. It's still unknown if we're going to play our starters, but don't think we're going to see too much if they do start the game. So, hey, the Cowboys have talked about starting their guys. We shall see. We know this team is still very young, still a lot of development to be had here, but we need to get healthy. It's obviously 18th week now. We've added a week in the season, and we're going to the playoffs. So, got to be healthy for those bad boys. Hopefully, go spoil the Cowboys' chances or the Buccaneers, Rams, whoever the hell it is. Let's go do our thing. So we're gonna move forward as if it's just a regular game, but when hopefully we get to the roster comparison this weekend, hopefully we have a better idea of what the Eagles are doing. But let's get things started here, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you, though, for taking the time. Hopefully, everybody is out there having a great night tonight. Hopefully, you're getting settled in now. It's 10:15, a little bit after. And, I've had a long damn day, but I was ready to come here, ready to talk some birds. So let's do it. Now, we protected some of the practice squad players, as we always do on this beautiful Tuesday. But Coyote Awasika, John Hightower, Jared Maiden, and Mac McCain were the players this week. John Hightower, that's somebody that could definitely get brought up. All these guys could definitely get brought up. We talk about the fact that yesterday a lot of these guys were placed on the COVID list. You see here, that's quite the damn list. So those guys are not off the COVID list. They will not be able to play. So we're going to need. And look, I think it's kind of, Howie pulling a fast one here, because once you're actually on this list, now they don't actually have to go back on this list for the playoffs. So pretty sure they're all vaccinated. So that's good and everything. But they went ahead and all got tested at the same time. They went to Washington, probably assuming, hey, if we're going to get it, it's probably in Washington, right? That whole shitstorm of a stadium. But what a beautiful, beautiful letter that Jalen Hurts wrote to the Washington football team. Holy hell. We talk about a true leader, a true QB1. You guys know I have been ecstatic about him, talking to the people close to him, really just finding out everything about him. And, it just keeps getting better. And when he did that, dude, that man, he's a smooth man, and I'm all about it, dude. So let's go. What is going on, my man Christian in the building? What is up, dude? Ready to talk some birds. Let's keep going. And of course, we're going to talk about those crappy ass Cowboys. And you know what? This is my show, so we're going to say what we want to say and fuck the Cowboys. So it's Dallas week. Let's get things rolling here. What is going on? Talk like there's a full audience, because one day there might be. Hey, I'm all about it, Richie. And I always do. Always trying to get things going. Always trying to keep you guys entertained, rolling. And as I always say, any questions, any comments are always welcome. So let's get things, let's keep it rolling here. We still got a little news here for the Eagles. We elevated from the practice squad Jacoby Stevens, one of those COVID replacements, as well as Cameron Malveaux. So you've got yourself two guys that have done this, a couple weeks now, and we're hopeful for the future. But obviously, we know in the draft next year, we have to go after defense. That is a must. But some of these guys are going to hopefully be, part of the future here. So another guy that was taken off of the COVID list, hopefully he'll get a lot of playing time. He was thrown into the fire at nickel at one point. He did really well. He's done well on special teams. So Andre Sachare, I'm really excited to see, if he could be, maybe that special teams ace for the future. So, hey, we can only hope, but they are going to probably get a pretty good chance. And as I've said, I think maybe we play the starters a little bit. You got to, I understand, develop these guys, but you also got to keep them healthy. So it's a slippery slope there, ladies and gentlemen. But a lot of these guys are on COVID list, so we'll see what the hell will happen. You know what I mean? So what is going on, Sam? Of course. Well, this is my pleasure to do this. We will keep rolling this stuff. And Saturday night primetime game. Yeah, man. Probably, I would say, maybe Hurts like a drive or two. I really don't think you have any reason to do that. The dude just had a high ankle sprain. I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying. Nothing surprises me anymore. And I understand this is a young team, and they definitely have their issues. We start off very slow. I would love to see, at least a drive where you start off fast, go out, get a good drive, score a touchdown. All right, you're done. We felt good. Now we're going to the playoffs. We're not this team that, they start slow. They can't win. You're not going to beat any teams in the playoffs. To the chat app. You know what I mean? So hey, if that happens, I'm okay with it. I don't want to see anybody hurt. So it's good to have a good backup. We'll still be able to get, to see some of these things from the young receivers, tight ends. So Minshew, we'll see what he's got. But Reed Sinnett, yeah, you could see something from him. We'll see if we want to keep him around next year. But of course, you're going to see all of the depth guys there. So, I'm excited for this game regardless. It's Eagles Cowboys. Post-game speech too, every single person's there. And look, this guy, they were believing in him early, and he really seemed like a pretty awesome guy. So that's why I was pretty big on him, and I wanted to really get to know him. So went in depth, and we had those shows where we talked about every single coach, and it's like I was excited to hell. I don't understand why people could just base their, I didn't like the press conference. He was stuttering. Like, really, dude? So I was looking at the resume, and I was listening to what people were saying about him. So I was excited, and I think, obviously he is a coach of the year candidate. He's doing pretty damn well. And look, he started off, it was rough. We were 2-5. We weren't running the ball. And, I sat here every week, run the damn ball. But that's exactly what we talk about. We knew if this team could find their identity, and that identity was running the ball, especially with the dual threat quarterback, allowing him to develop, not putting everything on his shoulders, 30-plus passes a game. Didn't understand that, especially with the offensive line you have. So making those adjustments, we'll see if we keep doing that, man. We shall see. But, dude, I think Sirianni and Hurts and all these guys are leaders. Hurts, it's just funny that people don't believe in him, because I think it's nothing but proof that he wants to get better. And I had a couple guys on to interview that, his trainer, his chef, the guys are close. His mom was commenting on the videos, and it's like, if you don't get the vibe that I get when they talk about him or you hear about him, it's like, dude, holy hell. And you're seeing it. He just keeps getting better. And the narratives are crazy out there, man. I just won't have it, man. He got us to the playoffs right now. So, yes, exactly, Richie. You saw Jacoby Stevens get out there, and I really thought maybe this year he could be a part of this defense, because we had no damn linebackers. Davian Taylor wasn't healthy. Once again, not healthy. That sucks. But it is what it is. TJ Edwards stepped it up. You love it. Alex Singleton, man, he's a special teams guy. He's a depth guy in case, you need something, but we've talked about this. I think everyone knows that, but he's tried his best. He's doing everything he can, but it's like, if we could get the right pieces in this defense, it'd be a completely different ball game. So, yeah, there's still holes here. So I thought Jacoby Stevens was getting a chance. He did not. But then, he gets a chance last week, and you hear his name, and you're like, all right, dude, great job. Same with Jared Maiden, these guys that get their shot. I've talked about, Andre Sachare. He's really been doing great things. He's been actually part of the roster a lot. But I think, these guys coming in, making a name for themselves, that's how you do it, special teams. So love to see it, and I would love to see it too. Ooh, we've got Sam rolling. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool, dude. What was I just watching? Oh, me and my girl were watching Dexter last night, New Blood. Oh, don't worry, I'm not a spoiler here, not gonna say anything, but holy Lord, I was like, I think we're like 5th episode in, maybe, but there was a scene where they were, they're rolling downtown, and we were laughing our asses off, and I was like, back in my day, I definitely gave that a shot. I definitely, yeah. Oh, wow. So have a great time, Sam. You stay safe. You definitely stay safe. Stevens has potential. He does. But he's one of those hybrid guys, and we talk about, everybody said, well, how's he going to adjust from safety to linebacker in the NFL? It's like, well, if you watch his tape, you'd see that he literally did that at LSU. So they interviewed him, and they were saying stuff. And, that's something we talked about here after we drafted him. And it was like literally ridiculous that someone asked him, and he's like, yeah, I played that at, LSU. It's like he was playing a joker role. He was doing things where, I think obviously in the NFL, it's a different ball game. And somebody, he's got to put on some muscle. He's got to do some things if he's going to be a linebacker, man. So he's doing his thing on special teams. He's more of a safety playing special teams, one of those guys that's just a floater defensive back. But, he's supposed to be this linebacker that, hey, You never know. But we've all seen the Nate Garys of the world, and not to trash anybody, but my lord, yeah. But anyways, excited to see the young guys myself. I think Christian, that this team, well, going into this year, we knew they were all very young. Not everybody. We all know that we kept some veterans, but that was the key part. Everybody was like, oh, it's a rebuild. And I was like, no, I refuse to call it that. I want to call it a retool because we kept around a lot of the veterans that mattered, and they're here to help this new regime come in. And you heard Howie talk about his mistakes, and it was like, all right, man, let's see what you can do. I thought he actually had a good draft, and then he had a really good draft this past year. So I was like, all right, man. And we talked about how we could get out of that cap that everybody's like, you can't do that. You can't sign these people. And he did. So we talked about these things, and to see these guys doing it, it's great. So to see that, there's still that hope that I feel for the future, it's awesome. Because obviously I feel a lot better now. We're going to the playoffs this year. So we talked about it. Don't know if we'll win the division, but maybe we sneak in the playoffs. And here we are, dude, sneaking into the playoffs. And yeah, everybody wanted to doubt us. That's perfectly fine. That's what you talk about. You want that. You want that underdog mentality. You want people to sleep on you, and you get rolling. And we've been rolling, baby. So number one rushing attack. Let's run over some people, dude. Let's keep doing that. And I know Miles is out right now, but maybe just this week while we're resting anybody, cool. Comes back with the cast on, maybe punches someone in the face. I don't know. But let's go out there and choke slam someone through a table. I don't care. I really just want to see this team keep dominating. But in the end, whatever happens, I'm excited for how far we've come already, because you guys know I keep talking about those 10 draft picks. Keep talking about that cap space. Oh, yes, I think we are in for a very fun ride the next few years. And hey, got a lot of slander, a lot of hate this year for what I said. But I think, a lot of people are echoing what I've been trying to say. And it's like, oh, well, yeah. And then you see the things, it's like, well, everybody down it. It's like, don't say that. Kayvon Wallace, man, I think if he could stay healthy, he provides some quality depth. I feel bad for the kid because I think a lot of people, right when he got drafted, they're like, oh my God, he was roommates with Brian Dawkinson and he has Wolverine cleats. And it's like, all right, man, that's cool. That's awesome, actually. But that does not make him Brian Dawkins. So he kind of right there, I had to try to live up to Brian Dawkins standard. And that's not right, man. So this kid, regardless of that, I like his talent, kind of that strong safety, can play some big nickel at times. And I think they're searching for pieces to play certain defenses, but just hasn't worked out for him in the sense that, he hasn't gotten better to a point where he's outplaying Marcus Epps. Marcus Epps has done really well. Marcus Epps was taking away snaps from, Harris and McLeod, before these guys were really playing well together, and he's still getting his snaps. So I think pretty cool, that we found a guy in Epps, and, we like to let people like Elijah Riley go and stupid things like that. I think, Casey Tuhill, you saw this past week, that really pisses me off. But I want to see a guy like Kayvon Wallace really live up to, his potential as a 4th round pick. I think that, it would be nice for aging, guys like Ant Harris and Rodney McLeod to be here right now, and for him to really soak up all he can, because you've got really 2 good veterans right there to teach you some things. And I think I'm hoping, by year 3 that he really can come into his element. So, hey, we'll find out, but I'm still hopeful for the kid. I just think a lot of people wanted him to come out and be somebody that he's just not right away. So, he'll never be Brian Dawkins. Let's just be real here, but we can hope that, he lives up to his potential, because he's a talented kid. He really is. So I would love that, but let's be real here. Still want a safety in the draft. I still want a corner. I still want an edge rusher, a linebacker. I'm very adamant about these things. And well, luckily we've got 3 first-round picks and 10 picks total. So that's pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie to you. We still have our 2nd or 3rd or 4th or 5th. I love all of it. Love it. I do. So let's go. Which are our backup wide receivers do you think plays the most? Well, that's a very interesting question. So now I think a lot of the things that are going to come down to is like, look, I know we want to rest everybody, but it's like, you got 53 guys on a roster. Now you have people on the COVID list, right, regardless of when they come off or whatever's happening here. But I think you're going to have to see some people, especially at linebacker. We don't have anybody. Jacoby Stevens, like I said, maybe he gets some snaps at linebacker now. Maybe we find out here. I think, we have a plethora of defensive backs. I would love to see those younger guys. But, you're asking about wide receivers. I think, like I said earlier, John Hightower, bring him up, and then you go through the line there. I think Jalen Reagor and Quez Watkins could really continue to keep developing here. So I'd keep them maybe in there a little bit. And Devontae, I know what he is. I don't need him. He's fine. I wouldn't really play him. But Arcega-Whiteside, I definitely think he could get, himself some wide receiver plays rather than just being out there blocking. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a change where you're just seeing like the whole practice squad brought up. But hey, maybe you do. I think, the tight ends, I would love to see a healthy dose of just Jack Stoll and, Tyree Jackson, because both of these guys, I would love to see with Goddard for the future here, but maybe even know it's a guy. You bring him up. He was just taken off the COVID list. So maybe you can see some young tight ends as well. So maybe a few wide receivers, but I would still like to see some of these young guys keep working. Do you think you should go after a receiver in the draft? I think either way. And that's something I've echoed here, Christian, that I think, a big bodied receiver. We've talked about Devontae Adams here, Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin, all these names for months. And, now it's getting to the end of the year and people are going to start talking about this stuff now. And it's like, yeah, dude, that's why I've been trying to say we have the money to bring in a lot of different pieces that we want. So I think for me, it would be a big name, big receiver that can help Devontae Smith become one of the best ever. And I think that, adding someone with him can allow Reagor and Quez Watkins to have their role, as those, little guys that can do a lot of things. So we'll see, but I would definitely do that. And then I've also said that if you want to do that and you want to draft somebody, in the third, fourth round, maybe there's somebody you love and you just have to have them in the second round. I don't know, man. Maybe there's a stud that fell and you have to do it. I don't think I could live with another first rounder. I honestly would use like my first 5 picks on defense, but I'm also looking at this draft that, hey, best player available, right? So we want to keep retooling this thing the right way. But yeah, man, we got money and we have 10 picks. So I'm all about, going out and this is what we talked about, though, before the season started. If we really keep developing Jalen Hurts and if Nick Sirianni is a coach, I think he is, if we run the ball, we do these things, we're finally at that point. It's like, just think of what the future can be with the way Howie Roseman set us up for the future with the 3 first-round picks, and it's like this draft was great. So I'm really, really excited about the future. I'm going to be real with you guys. But all right, we got to get this thing rolling. I love the questions and comments. Keep them coming, but let's go behind enemy lines with the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, that's right. Final week. We're going up against the Cowboys. We may face them again. And then, we'll find out. But regardless, I really don't care. I'd love to spoil that, though. And as you guys all know, in case you somehow missed it, though, the game has changed, though, to Saturday night. A little prime time for us. Going to be wild. I cannot wait. But let's get this thing going. Now, we know the coaching staff here, Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore running that offense, Dan Quinn, blah, blah, blah. That's great. Well, let's take a gander at that offense first. How are they doing this season? 10th in rushing, 121.8, which is crazy. I mean, there have been times where it's like, what are they? Don't care. You got Pollard, Zeke. We'll see what they do there. But 3rd in passing, 2nd in yards, and 1st in points per game. So this offense we know can put up points. Well, they kind of did that to us earlier this season. So it was quite the embarrassment. I'm not going to lie to all of you. I think we all know that it was probably one of the hardest games to watch because you have so much promise, so much hope for this team, and then your hated rival comes and just beat your ass. I mean, they didn't come. We went to their house, and it's just, I was glad that we got to face them at the end of the year. Got a little redemption because, I mean, losing by 20 points to them, and it wasn't even, it's garbage, whatever. But they really put a hurting on us, man, and it's embarrassing. I really think that we can have a different game this time. And obviously, we are much younger, and that's all right. But, hey, we're a much different team at this point in the season. So I really think that we have a fighting chance here, man. I do. But this is a damn good offense. They're only giving up 2 sacks allowed per game, not even an interception thrown per game. You see there 1.3 turnovers per game. So this is a damn good offense, obviously led by Dak Prescott. if anything were to happen, old Cooper Rush or Will Greer in there. That's great. Don't care. Dak Prescott's a damn good quarterback, but let's try to put him on his ass. And look, I just really think I'm glad that Carson Wentz is gone and we don't have to hear the argument about who's better, who's this, who's that, two different quarterbacks. And I think Dak Prescott, as much as I hate the Cowboys, I'm a realist. That dude's good and he could definitely kick our ass because he's got some receivers, he's got tight ends, and they've got a run game. So we just got to try to do our best. This defense has vastly improved throughout the season. You love to see it, but let's see how we do here. Now, we're going to have to try to shut down this run game. Ezekiel Elliott had like 95 yards on us. That's not cool, man. I'll be real with you. Don't like it at all. Pollard had like 60. So we got to try to shut these guys down. I don't care who they are, though, because honestly, this defense really has improved. And each week it gets better and better. So I'm excited to see if we can shut him down. If not, it's going to be a long day. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can really just pound the ball down your throat. So, oh, dear God, help us. I really think that, looking at this game, I'm thinking of more if we play them in the playoffs. Obviously, this game doesn't matter. But I'm excited, man. I hope we play them in the first round. I do. This is a damn good team, and we talked about this all year. It'd be nice to catch them at the end of the year when we're actually going here. But obviously, this game here is pointless. Let's get him in the first round. Now, we've got Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb here. Michael Gallup tore his ACL. That is unfortunate, especially going into a free agency kind of year where he was going to make a lot of money. Now you got Cedric Wilson stepping in there. You've got some Turner Brown, Fehoko. We'll see if he even plays. But regardless, it's a damn good receiving crew. We have got to do everything we can to shut him down. But Gannon, man, I know a lot of the time it's not just on you, the players, whatever. But holy hell, sometimes I want to put my head through the wall. So gonna have to really come up with a good game plan. Get after Dak, put some pressure on him, dude. You really have to get some pressure on him. I can't stress it enough. And we're here week 18 still talking about it. So we're one of the worst teams getting pressure. So that's why I'm always so pissed off about it. Now, another piece of good news for them is Blake Jarwin is designated to return off of IR. I don't know if that will be this week, but he could be back for that first round of the playoffs. But they do have Dalton Schultz, got sprinkled there, and McKeon. So they've got weapons, man. We know what they can do to us. And that line, it's not the same line that it used to be that, they used to regard as one of the best when they had Frederick there in the middle. But, you still got Tyron Smith. You got McGovern Bidas. Isn't bad. He's getting better. Zach Martin, one of their better linemen. And then you got Terrence Steele out there. So, look, we have really struggled to get a pass rush, so I can't sit here and say, we're going to be dominant here. But we've talked about Josh Sweat. We talked about Jannard Avery, Derek Barnett. These guys, they really are trying to improve. And even, inside, dude, when you're talking about Fletcher Cox, talking about Hargrave, these guys, I think that we really could surprise some people. They are getting better, and I think Gannon is getting better at utilizing these guys. How are we accentuating to their skill sets? That was the whole thing before the season started. It's like, well, can we do that? Because we've got some really good players. So we were all frustrated, but here we are. So that was the offense. But like I said, they talk about they're going to play their starters. We'll see. What is going on, my man Drew in the building? We are behind enemy lines, and we're talking about those crappy ass Dallas Cowboys. So who knows what's going to go on, how long starters are playing regardless, but we're also looking at it as if, what if we see him in the first round? So it's beautiful that we talked about that for months. Like, if we could just get a chance. Oh, it's here, baby. So you love to see it. Talking about that, Gal. Yeah, let's go, dude. We're going to smack him right in the mouth. Be real with you. Hey, Nina, what is going on? Thank you for tuning in. We are just getting done with the offense of the Dallas Cowboys, which we all know the top scoring offense in the league right now, second in total yardage. It's a powerful offense. This defense, though, of the Eagles has gotten better, so we've got to hope that they play one of their best games if we do end up facing them in the first round. So, yeah, this is going to be a tough test. I'll be real with you. I won't mind it at all. I don't mind the Buccaneers. I don't care if it's the Rams. Let's go, baby. I'm all about it, dude. I think if we can just establish that run, we can do anything. That defense, it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So we just got to pray we get you on the right Sunday, right? So let's keep it going. We're going to get into the defense, but you guys can keep the comments, questions coming. But here is a look at how their defense has done this season. They are 15th against the rush, 24th against the pass, 19th total yardage, and 7th against points, though. So, one thing about them, they've had their struggles, but they have some playmakers on that damn team. So, we definitely have to, keep doing what we've done all season. We've actually been pretty damn good, with the turnovers and sacks, everything. So, we got to keep doing our thing, man, and got to try to shut them down because, look, they've definitely gotten better with, Parsons there. DeMarcus Lawrence is back. They're doing some things here. And they're getting some interceptions with Trevon Diggs. Yeah, they're tied first in the league, 2.1 turnovers per game. That's ridiculous. So we got to just keep playing smart football. We got to eliminate stupid turnovers, and we can beat this damn team because it is not the best defense, and they are dealing with some things right now. So they've got all of their depth on the defensive line. One of their starters there, Odigziwa, is on the COVID list. You got Bahana and Hill there. So you're left with Gallimore and Watkins, who play anyway. But regardless, your depth right now is thin inside. So we'll keep our eye on that if those guys come off or not. We shall see. But on the outside there, Brent Urban is on the IR. But other than that, they've got their pass rush. So DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, you got Armstrong, Basham, Golston. Now, these guys, part of the rotation, you don't have to use Micah Parsons. And this dude, he's a freak because let's be real here. Micah Parsons, we all knew going into the draft what kind of dude he was. And to see him go to the Cowboys made me want to literally just jump out of the building because it sucks having to watch him twice a year because I loved the kid and it's like, damn it. So now we deal with this, but then you see him playing pass rusher, and you see, he's a beast, man. So now he's back in the middle. Keanu Neal on the COVID list. So I think literally at the beginning of the season when we played them, he was on the COVID list, Keanu Neal. So found himself on there again. That sucks, man. Hopefully he's all right. But Micah Parsons stepping back there, middle linebacker. You got Van Der Esch there, but Gifford's your only depth there. Jabril Cox is on the IR, and then Bernard also on the COVID list. So we'll see. That these guys can always come off the list, and I will keep you up to date with that. Now, in the secondary, at corner, you have Trevon Diggs, who is not, the greatest in coverage, but, man, he is a ball hawk. So you got to watch out. Jalen Hurts, smart throws. And, look, let's establish that run. And hopefully, you don't want to get down to a team like this. I think that's what happened in the first game. He got scared, Nick Sirianni, and you're playing a team as powerful, that offense with the Cowboys. You're getting scared and you just wanted to score points. He got away from the run way too early. So we have to run that ball, man. I don't care. And hopefully Jordan Howard's stinger is better because that will really benefit us. So Boston Scott, Kenny G, whatever you got to do, let's go. Now Anthony Brown, Canady there, because Jordan Lewis, their nickel corner, is actually on the COVID list. So another guy on the list. You got Nishan Wright on there as well. Reggie Robinson's been on the IR. So not the greatest of corners, but we don't necessarily have world beaters at receiver. But we shall see. I'd really love to see that first drive be our first team offense. Go out there and take these guys on and really, smack them in the mouth because we owe it to them. We really do. We really do. And then the safeties, Jaron Kearse and Donovan Wilson back. So you've got DeMonte Kazee, a great addition for them. And then Darian Thompson there, Israel Mukwamu. But Malik Hooker is on the COVID list. So, missing a lot of their key players. But like I said, a lot of these guys can come back here. So we will definitely keep our eyes on that. Now, we never leave out the special team. So let's hit that up. Got Greg Zerline as their kicker, Mr. Up and Down. Brian Anger at punter. And then Jake McQuaid, which is like the John Fossil crew there. But yeah, so that's your kicking crew. And now you've got your return specialist. CD Lamb as the punt returner. Tony Pollard as your kick returner. Got Clement and Wilson they can use as well. So we shall see exactly who they throw at us. But that was it, ladies and gentlemen, for going behind enemy lines with those pesky Dallas Cowboys. But appreciate you guys taking the time tonight. None of the playoff teams scare me. Only thing that does scare me is Canada. Hey, Nina, I'm with you 100% on that. And let's be real here. This season we talked about there's going to be growing pains. Now, at this point, you want to have a better feeling like you do about Sirianni and Hurts. And it's like, look, I know they're still going to have their struggles too, and I'm not going to be mad. I mean, sure, in the moment I probably will be, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to figure it out. And I think the one thing is Jonathan Gannon it's nuts, man, because 1 week you're like, all right, this is what I'm talking about. And he's got great ideas. And then sometimes you're like, okay, well, why are you even trying that, though, with these certain players if you don't have the right players for the scheme? Because I get it. You want to try these hybrid crazy schemes, but you need a different skill set of players to do that. So I hope we do that in the draft. I'm hopeful, for the future still, but in the right now, in the playoffs, yeah, obviously that's a big one. So we got to try to control the clock, and we got to try to get turnovers at least. That's one of the things that we talk about. Let's get after it. Let's the players do all you can. I know Gannon's killing us at times, but we need you. So some big plays would be nice. So we'll see what happens, but I think we can go toe to toe with anybody. I'm all about it. I'm with you, Nina. What is going on, Jerry? I hope you're having yourself a great Tuesday night. Just finishing up here. We went behind enemy lines, talked about the Cowboys from the offense to the defense, and we even talked about special teams. So, look, it was great. We all know the Cowboys suck. We can agree with that. So, right. But this is going to be awesome because it's Saturday now. So excited there. So I'm going to switch it up. We're going to do tomorrow Nikes. So looks like Mr. Sirianni will not be giving me the answer, and we're just going to go forward as if. But what I'll do is maybe I'll not only have the Eagles roster, but I'll just throw in the whole damn practice squad too. So that way we'll talk about who could possibly be brought up and who we could see on Saturday night. So we'll talk about that game. We'll talk about what if we see them in the first round. Look, I'm excited as hell, man. I can't believe we're going to the playoffs. So bring it on, whoever it is. This Saturday, let's just do what we can do, get business done. I'd love to see that first drive, go out, punch them in the mouth, and let them know, hey there, we're coming for you. So let's do this. Yes, playoffs. We're going to the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. So tomorrow I'll be back. We'll talk about both these. Who has the advantages here? Who do I think is better where? And this is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to tomorrow because the last couple ones, Giants, Washington, not very good teams. But we're going to go forward as if it's starters versus starters. That's how we're going to talk about it because it could be a first round matchup. And if it is, then we don't have to talk about it again. If it's somebody else, then we'll just be talking about them. So it's been a long one. I'm going to get rolling. Not rolling with Sam out there, but Sam, I hope you're rolling in the right direction. All right, guys, have yourself a safe night, a great night. I truly do appreciate you taking the time. Appreciate you hitting that like button. Appreciate you guys subscribing to that YouTube channel. Turn that notification bell on, and you'll be able to join me every damn day while we talk some birds. Also appreciate you guys following me on all of these beautiful little platforms here. Appreciate you showing love on Twitter and, all the retweets, all the things you guys do. Truly appreciate the hell out of you. So have yourselves a great night. If you need anything, you can always reach out to me, whether, it's about football, whether, it's about life, doesn't matter. Always here for you guys. I appreciate the hell out of you. But have yourselves a great night. Just a couple days away from that final week of the season being over. And that's right. The playoffs. We're going. I was freaking out this morning when I woke up. I don't know about you guys, but I was just screaming about the playoffs. I'm very excited about this. This team is truly it's brought my soul justice, because got a lot of slander this year for believing in these young men. And that's fine. It's perfectly fine. Drew, you have yourself a great night. Nina, Jerry, everybody, Sam, Drew, I appreciate you every day. Nina, you guys taking the time really means the world to me. Stay safe out there. And like I always say, seriously, reach out if you need me. But I will be back tomorrow. We'll be talking about both these teams, how they compare. So have a great night. And as always, come on!